You're on.
Yeah, well, start off with Colonel Chapuis called Captain McCurney. And he said, "Captain, do you have a good scout?" Captain said, "Yes, I do. And he always comes back with the right info. And he really don't want anybody to go in with him." And he said he'd rather go by himself. He'd be less detected. And well, it's a military thing that you send somebody with them, and they question both of you separate, see if your stories jive. And Captain told him, he said, Tex always comes back with the right info. He said, "Well, I want to borrow him." And he did. He sent me on this patrol. He said, "We think the Germans are moving up for another big assault on us, but we need to make sure." He said, "What I want you to do is go up there behind our lines and scout around and see if they are moving up." And he said, "There's going to be a lieutenant with you. There's going to be 2 other soldiers with you. And there's going to be 4 of you." I said, "Sir, I'd just rather go by myself." "No, it's company rule that you send somebody with you." I said, "Okay." But that lieutenant was something else. And we got there, and we got up to the front line. He told me where he wanted me to go. And we got there, and 506 they had an outpost right there. So I went over and told them, I said, "We're going back." And I said, "I'm going to try to come back the same way. But I said, we may be running like hell, so don't shoot." And I said, "I'll give you the password on the run." And they said, "Okay." So we got about halfway across this open field. Of course, it was dark at night, and the snow had covered with snow held down foot deep everywhere. And finally I kept hearing a rumble. And I stopped, and the lieutenant crawled up, and he said, "What's that racket I hear?" I said, "Sir, it's a Tiger tank." "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" I said, "We ain't going to do shit." And I said, "We're just going to lay here." I said, "Kind of dig the snow out and get as far down where you're not visible, and just kind of dig down in the snow." I said, "They're not going to go. This is not an attack. They're just moving tanks up to get ready. And they're damn sure not going to park them out here in this opening in case the weather clears up, because airplanes will knock them tanks out." But that planes couldn't fly then. It was so cloudy. And sure enough, here that damn tank come. And it come on through the trees and where the Germans were dug in. And he said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "Nothing. They won't go too far though." And sure enough, here I seen a guy come out of the woods, and he started hollering at that tank. With that old boy in the tank had the top turret lid open, and he was standing up there. And that old boy hollered at him, told him to stop. So they stopped the tank. He made them turn around and go back and put the tank in the woods. And I heard him tell the driver, "Das ist gut." They shut the tank motor off real quick. When he did that, you could hear another tank coming. And the same shit happened again. And, well, not the same. This time that guy that directed that in the woods, he stopped that tank before he got in the opening and had him drive in the woods and hide the tank. And he finally said, "That's good." And they shut the tank off because Germans were really short on gas. And there was another rumble. Another tank was coming. 3 tanks. I told the lieutenant, I said, "Lieutenant, they're moving tanks up. That means we are fixing to get it." I said, "This is all the information that the colonel needs. When they're moving tanks up, we're fixing to catch hell." I said, "Let's get out of here. Let's go back." And right before we got to our outpost, you had to go right at the edge of their outpost where they were dug in. They had a machine gun there, and you couldn't get in the brush. If you did, it'd break like glass breaking. And I said, "You go on first and go down there where I made the other 2 boys stay, and stay there, and I'll be there later." Well, so I stayed and made sure that he made it okay, and I got up and I was going to go around to the right-hand side, and I didn't think it'd be much brush in there, and there wasn't. But I got about even with that damn outpost, and I heard clomp, 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 and it was there was 7 men. No, there was 2, 4, 6. There was 7 men, and they cut. Well, I was already where they could see me if I went any further, so I just dug down in the snow right there close to that outpost, and they drove up, and they were walking in step, and he was giving orders. They didn't do nothing until he gave an order. They were in step, and finally he gave the orders to halt. They halted, and he told them that at ease in Germany they all relaxed, but they stayed in their positions. And
is that when you flicked the switch off your Thompson sub?
Huh?
Is that when you flicked the switch off of your Thompson sub?
Took the what?
Flicked the switch off of your Thompson sub.
Oh, hell, it was off to start with. hell yeah. And when he drove up, he stopped not 3 foot from me and gave the orders to halt. And finally he looked down and he seen me. And he didn't know what I was, because I'd already thrown some white snow on me. And I had the barrel of that Thompson looking right at him, which is dark. He couldn't see that. And, of course, it was off safety. And when he kicked me, I pulled the trigger, and down he went. Well, then I raised up, and I killed them other 6 guys in that formation. I shot them. And then I run over there to the side of that hole, and I killed 2 more that was in the hole. And shit. But then I threw a hand grenade in there to make sure that they were dead, because they had a machine gun, and it covered the area where we'd be going back. And we had on dark clothing, and in that white snow, they could open that machine gun on. So I threw a hand grenade in there and made sure that everybody in the foxhole was in their dugout was not alive. So I killed 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I killed 9 Germans that night. And I made a run for it then and got back to them other guys. And what the hell's going on up there? I said, well, they saw me and I had to fight my way out. And damn. So we got back to 506, but we got about halfway across that damn field. They could still see us in that dark clothing in that snow. They started dropping mortar shells at us, but they were in line, but they didn't. It was right behind us, and if they just increased it a little bit, they would have probably got us with them damn mortar shells. But I told everybody, I said, if you can run faster than I can, start running. Get the hell out of here.